Good morning, everybody, or afternoon if you're on the East Coast. It's the Dose Leprechauns. We're back, Season 11, Episode 2. Today is going to be our 2025 season preview. A lot to talk about, a lot to be excited about, but we want to start off with a couple of things that are somewhat breaking. If you're not aware, Kevin Bauman, senior tight end, been injury-prone kind of his whole career, just announced on his Instagram that he's going to be retiring from football. So really a sad situation. Kevin Bauman, by all accounts, is a great person, great kid, great athlete, and just unfortunately just couldn't stay healthy. So he's announced his retirement officially from football. So obviously that'll leave a huge void in that tight end room because we already have a couple injuries we're dealing with there. So, but more importantly, shout out to Kevin Bauman for just being a leader on the team. I know that a lot of the guys last year when he caught that touchdown, I don't remember who we were playing, but he caught a touchdown pass and the entire sideline erupted. So you can tell he's a guy that this team and the teammates really care about. So shout out to Kevin Bauman. Hopefully he'll be able to find some value in football outside of just playing, maybe as a coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see him as a grad assistant or something on the team maybe in the next couple of years here. So but at the end of the day, he's going to get his college degree from the University of Notre Dame, so he's going to be just fine. So, Nate, what do you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it just sucks. He was one of the first guys doing the interviews after practice. I think it was the second day of practice, and he, was super excited to be back, be healthy, and be ready to take on this year. And it sounded like he was going to have a big role for this season.
Yeah,
obviously we know we got Eli Reardon, but Bauman's going to have a big role, and it just sucks not only for him but for kind of the team morale. So next man up mentality, like it's always been, like it was almost all of last year. So
real quick, let's talk about what we're wearing. Just wanted to kind of show this off. I really like this year's the shirt. I'm wearing the 2025 the shirt. Students did a good job on the design, I think. The color's great and the fit is awesome. Once again. This year. Last year was much better than the probably 10 years before that. This year they killed it with the design again. I really like the shirt texture. So we're not sponsored by this shirt or anything like that. I just really like this shirt, so I wanted to wear it. Nate, tell me what you got.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Irish 83 shirt.
83? What in the?
Or 88, I'm sorry.
Holy moly.
Dyslexic or something. Yeah, it's the shirt by Michael Stonebreaker and Frank Stams, their company, the Irish 88 shirt. It's very comfortable. It's just comfortable. You can wear it doing anything.
And on the back it says play like national champions. So shout out to Stoney and Stams for the awesome shirt. We had them on last year talking about it, and it's always cool. Like Nate always is like, when I meet your old guys, I don't really know what to say. And when he talks about old guys, for us old guys, he's talking about the 88 team guys. So
not my guys. That's all I gotta say.
He's getting to spend some time with Stams and Stoney and Ned Bolker and those guys. And just talking about the shirt last year at the Stanford game was just awesome. So hopefully they're still doing good on their sales. I think they're going to draw some hoodies soon, I hope anyways. Shaking my head at Nate. What's that for?
I said 83.
Oh, yeah, that was really bad, man.
Bad.
We're going to edit that out. See, Ryan Chepkovic said, almost time for Irish football. Go Irish. Yep, so there's a fly in here. 22 days away. Today we've already featured Elijah Shoemate, good buddy of ours, on the countdown. Really good safety that I think was a little bit underrated, hard hitter. He, of course, had that pick six on Michigan to make it 37-0, which will always be the final score in my eyes, even though it was negated by a Max Redfield penalty, also a buddy of ours. But yeah, Elijah Shoemate next up. Main event will probably be Julius Jones, one of the top 3 to 5 running backs in the history of Notre Dame football, so he'll be up there. Nate's always like, Julius who? Again, he's like 22, so he doesn't know, but he'll remember. Remember the 6, says Fighting Irish Faithful, exactly. Mike Kane says, yeah, it's a bummer. I wish him well. You hit the nail on the head. He'll get his degree and do well outside of football. That's exactly right. We're talking about Kevin Bauman there if you're joining just now live. If you're joining on Facebook, thanks for joining us. X, shout out to the X community. If you're joining on YouTube, thank you. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Really trying to grow that channel. Joe from Fighting Irish Faithful is a partner of ours under our flagship, Dose Leprechauns Media LLC. He does a really great show and went live on video for the first time. So he has a face for radio. So I'm a little concerned about just the the optics of what you're going to see when you turn it on, but he does a really good job on it. So thank you, Joe, for being a part of that and doing a great show. Your first one on video. I know you were a little nervous, but I think you killed it. It was a good first show. So we're going to kind of be a different flavor. He's going to be more of the statistical stuff and spreadsheets, and of course, Scotch. He literally has Scotch with him, which I think is freaking hilarious. But he'll be more into the spreadsheets and things of that nature. We're going to be more about personnel, who we think will play, who should play, who's standing out, things of that nature. So go Dos Hendricks. That's what Lynch said. Yeah, you're basically fired. Dos Hendricks?
Yeah, it's both Hendricks.
Oh, that's funny. My beard is not nearly as impressive. That's for sure. You have like you have a little stubble. That's what Joe said. So again, if you have a YouTube account, throw us a follow. We're working on something that we've been working on for 2 seasons. Don't want to really say what it is yet until we can actually get some something behind it. But we're going to be doing some stuff on YouTube to really try to drive some original content. Everybody and their mama has a preview show and a pregame show and a postgame show. Of course, we do it a little bit raw, where it's our raw emotions coming out before and after, which is fun, and talking to you guys. But we're going to do some, what would you call it, just media. We're going to do a couple videos that I think the Irish community will enjoy. So look for that soon, but you can't get it if you're not subscribing to us on YouTube. So go smash that subscribe button and like that content. I'm not a YouTuber like the Nelk and all these other groups, but I want to grow that channel really bad. So if you get to 1,000, you can monetize and do super chat and all that good stuff. And ultimately, that's what we'd like to do, to just be able to provide more content for you guys. Billy freaking Hackett is in the room. Where have you been, Bill? We haven't seen you on here in months. Bill Hackett, 1988 national champion, Notre Dame kicker. So you got Dos Leprechauns, me and Nate. You got another member of Dos Leprechauns in the waiting room. We're going to bring him on right now. Jeff Strebajak. He's one of our lead analysts for the football team. So we'll be bringing him on in just a second. So what we're going to do today on the season preview, we're not going to sit here and bore you to death with some of the things. I got to shout out to Irish Illustrated, 247. A lot of these guys have been doing a great job with the practice previews. So we've had our ears to the pavement and really trying to kind of listen and see what we see from camp and listening to some of these guys, and then just what we saw in the spring game. So we're going to go ahead and go through myself, Nate, and Jeff are going to go through and do our prediction of who will be starting when we officially kick off in South Beach against Miami. Again, this is just our perspective. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say and kind of go from there. So we will get that going. We're going to bring Jeff on here. So let's get Jeff going. Jeff, how we doing, boy?
Good. What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. Just brought everybody on. Not sure if you saw the news. I knew you had some daddy duties at soccer, but Kevin Bauman announced his retirement this morning.
I did see that, and it was due to a torn ACL, I believe, again. So unfortunate news on the home front with Kevin Bauman. I know he was super excited to come back for another season, but unfortunately that injury bug has been his kind of kryptonite his whole Notre Dame career, and I wish him best. And I know he'll be on the sideline because he's definitely a Marcus Freeman type guy, where he's going to be on the sideline and always be a Notre Dame man.
For sure. Okay, so Jeff, I kind of laid it out. I think you heard us while you were in the waiting room. We're going to go through position by position, give our a brief kind of why we believe that person will be starting, and then kind of go on from there. Before that, though, I want to take a quick look at this year's schedule. I think a lot of people are kind of writing our schedule off this year as easy after the first 2 games. I would say that's definitely false. So let's take a look at the schedule. We're going to share our screen here so you guys will still be able to see us on the corner, but you'll see also what we are going to be discussing. So we'll try to do that here. So we're going to look at the 2025 schedule for the Irish. Let's just take a minute to download. Okay, so we start off, obviously, and Jeff, feel free to jump in at any time with your thoughts, but starting off August 31st, kind of weird right off the bat with a Sunday game. I get the heebie-jeebies about these Sunday kicks. There's been some challenges with that, and it just feels weird. Like even from a fan perspective, it always is like, Sunday, we're supposed to be playing on Saturday. So always kind of weird for me, but it is what it is. So starting off August 31st against the Hurricanes, Catholics versus convicts, all the history, but these are two really brand new teams. Notre Dame will be breaking in a new quarterback who has never really had any game action, no matter who it is. Miami will have a new quarterback that's had a ton of game action, but has some deficiencies on each side of the ball. Now, we're not going to go too deep into the schedule, but wanted to start off there. So at Miami, August 31st, a bye week, and then we open at home against Texas A&M. So two top 20, maybe even top 15 opponents to start off the season. So no slouch there, obviously. Then we're home against Purdue. On the road against a tough Arkansas team. That quarterback, we'll talk about it more in our season preview part 2. That quarterback for Arkansas is very, very fast and is athletic. So that's going to be tougher than people think. Then we come back home to play Boise State. That's going to be a fun little matchup. I don't think most people have probably seen them play, so that'll be cool. Then we're home. We host the Wolfpack, North Carolina State. And then the big one, this one, guys, USC has been down. There's obviously, we're always going to think they're down even if they're good. But this USC team is athletic as hell. They're very athletic. They're going to have a returning quarterback with a lot of experience now. Skill players all over the field, speed all over the field. That's going to be a very, very tough matchup in South Bend. Then we're off another week, and we've got Boston College on the road. Then we come back home for Navy, followed by a trip to Pittsburgh, coming back home for the home finale of the regular season against Syracuse on November 22nd. Then, of course, we finish the year on the road in Palo Alto against the Cardinal, the Stanford. That will probably be the last game in Palo Alto against Stanford for a very long time, if not ever. They'll stay on the home schedule, as I noticed, but probably be the last trip to Palo Alto for quite a while. So we'll be there for that one. Yeah, we'll be there for that one. We'll be at the Syracuse game, and then we'll be at the Texas A&M game somehow. We don't have tickets yet. So if anybody has a lead on face value tickets, please let us know, because we're still trying to not pay a mortgage for tickets to the game. So that's a quick look at our schedule. Again, pretty daunting. See what I did there? Jeff, are there any games on there that maybe people are not talking about much that you think are going to be tougher than we may be thinking?
NC State, Pitt, and Syracuse. A lot of people have been talking about how the ACC has been down for the past couple of years. Well, I think it's built itself up a little bit. And I mean, of course, we start at Miami, which is going to be a hell of a game. I mean, Carson Beck is going to be a tall. I won't say a tall task, because I just see what we're going to on our sides of the ball, but I just think these ACT teams are starting to pick it up a little bit, and Syracuse has a guy that we're quite familiar with, and they got a great coach in Fran Brown. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to do big things, and Syracuse and even Pittsburgh are going to be two teams that are going to be chasing an ACC title this year. So, and then NC State, we've always had dogfights with NC State, where they play us hard for a half, play us hard for 3 quarters. I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when it took Audric Esme to bust one 57 yards to kind of break that one open. It was a stalemate, and Dave Dorn does a great job over there at NC State. So I just see just a bunch of just grinded out games on that schedule. So,
and I think lucky for us. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, and lucky for us,
every game is going to be.
You go.
Every game's not a cross-off game, where it got easier after Northern Illinois last year. This year, it's literally Miami, A&M. Oh, okay, Purdue, but Barry Odom's at Purdue, so it's like I think that team's going to play with a hell of a lot more heart. So I'm not writing off any of these games this year.
No, definitely not. Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned, there are going to be a lot of grinded out games. And I was going to say, luckily, I feel like we're a grinded out kind of team. I mean, we have Penn State can kick rocks. We have the best running back room in the country, and I don't even think it's close. I think you look at Singleton and what's the other kid from Penn State? I can't. Anyway, the other kid was real good there.
Yeah, I like him. I like him better than Singleton, actually.
Yeah, so those
other
two guys
two.
are killers. But we're so deep behind Jeremiah Love, and we'll talk about one of those guys here in a minute. But we're so deep that I think you don't have a drop off. I mean, you might have a drop off from J Love. He's the best running back in the country. But after that, you still got some studs that can really just get it done. So anyway, we'll talk more about the schedule here in the next couple of weeks as we get closer to the game. Again, 22 days out, so we got some time to talk about that. But we're going to get right into our depth chart review and kind of what we think is going to be what. We are going to go straight up Joe from Fighting Irish Faithful spreadsheet style, and I already have it laid out. So we are going to kind of get into each position. And again, if you guys have comments and you think we're nuts on any particular thing, you'll see mine. I already start kind of cheated and went with my offensive group. But we'll start with Nate, or actually I'll give my offense here, and then I'll let Nate go, then Jeff. And we'll get into defense and special teams. So we're not going to spend too much time on each one, but just where we think we're at based on what we've seen and heard, et cetera. So starting at the wide receiver position, I think Malachi Fields is going to be an absolute monster for this team on offense. I think he is one of the best receivers we've had in 10 years at Notre Dame, if not longer. Really, really excited to see him in game action. He didn't do too much against the Irish against when he was with Virginia, but the guy's an absolute freak. He'll be wearing number 0, so it won't be hard to find. But yeah, really excited about Malachi Fields. Jordan Faison, I think will be build on his success of last year. Jaden Greathouse has been lighting it up ever since the Penn State game last year. At spring game, fall practice, he's been lights out. So I think there's no doubt who at least our top 3 receivers will be. We'll get into a little bit more of the depth a little bit later on a different show. But I think, the Will Pauldings of the world, Logan Saldate, I think is somebody you'll see, KK Smith, Scrap Richardson, and a name that I've been talking about for 2 years that I can't wait to see on that field, Cam Williams. So remember the name, Cam Williams. Left tackle, our boy, love this dude, Anthony Knapp. I spelt it wrong. Left guard, obviously, coming in for Jagasaw is going to be Billy Sharuth. Ashton Craig at center, Sully at right guard, Emil Wagner at right tackle. Tight end, obviously, that one's locked up and throw away the key. Got Eli Reardon. Super excited to see him this year. Running back, obviously, J-Love, but don't count out seeing a whole lot of Jadarian Price this year. But I think, obviously, J-Love being best running back in the country, if not the best player in the country, we're absolutely blessed to see him for another year. And can't wait to see some hurdles and some running into guys and making them regret trying to tackle them. And then obviously the elephant in the room, the $1 million question, who starts at quarterback? I still am sticking with and start the car. I know Kenny Minchie's having a good fall practice, but I also have heard from many reputable sources that it's extremely, extremely close. But I think that it's CJ Carr, and I think they, personally speaking, I think they need to make a decision pretty quick here so they can start to build off of whoever that leader is going to be at that position, which is going to be, let's be honest, it's going to be make or break whether we're a playoff team or whether we're a 9-3 team or 8-4 team. So huge decision for the coaching staff, but I have all the faith in the world in Freeman, Denbrock, and Gino Gaduli. So that's my starting offense. Nate, wide receiver, who you got?
Yeah, I got Malachi Fields as well. I think I have almost the exact same receivers as you.
Okay.
However, I think there's going to be a lot of different sets of receivers coming in. It's not going to be the same 3 you see on the field all at the same time. And then for the offensive line, I see almost the exact same Anthony Knapp, Billy Staruth, Craig, and then I think Sully will be right guard until what's his name?
Jagasaw?
Yeah, until Jagasaw comes back.
Of course, yeah.
And then obviously Emil Wagner at right tackle. I think he was clutch in the playoffs this last season.
Okay.
Tight end, I got Eli again, but don't sleep on the transfer from Georgia, Ty Washington.
Oh yeah.
With Kevin Bauman going
Good
down,
call.
I can easily see him getting some reps this year. Of course, running back, probably the easiest choice on this list. J-Love, best running back in football. I would even include best running back in the NFL if he went today.
Wow.
Quarterback, I've always been an underdog fan. We can go back to the Brandon Wimbush, Ian Book days. So I'm going to go with the quote-unquote underdog right now in the quarterback battle, and that's Kenny Minchie.
Wow.
I think Minchie adds an element to the offense that, Denbrock has been rolling with since his LSU days with, Jaden Daniels, Riley Leonard last year, those offenses, you needed a mobile quarterback who also had an arm. So I could see Kenny Minchie easily starting for Notre Dame this year.
All right. Thank you very much. So, Jeff, you heard our predictions. Do you want to just tell us where maybe you differ, or if you have a bunch of them, let us know what you got?
So the wide receiver room is actually one of our strengths, and I'm shocked that those words are coming out of my mouth, but it's a beautiful thing, and I think Malachi Fields is going to be great. He's going to contribute and draw a lot of attention, whether he's field or boundary. I believe he's a boundary guy. But Jaden Greathouse, I think, is going to be our wide receiver go-to this year. I just think that kid has hit another notch in his game, stemming from last year. I think he's going to carry himself a different way, where he's going to demand the ball a little bit more. But I like the Fields phase on Greathouse right now, but Jaden Greathouse is a guy that I think is going to really just sprout up. As far as the offensive line goes, it's going to be kind of the same kit and caboodle that you guys have. It's going to be nice to see Charles Jagusah come back, but it's also going to be nice to see a fully healthy Gerby Lambert, because that's going to turn into a rotation if that comes into fruition, because Gerby Lambert is now, I believe, 6'7", or is he 6'8", 350 pounds? Wow. That is a mountain of a man, and that's a guy that can move. I love Nate's pick at tight end. I mean, Eli is just a freak, and I think we're going to see another drafted Notre Dame tight end coming out this year in Eli Reardon, because it always seems to be when you have these younger quarterbacks that they look for the safety valves, and Eli Reardon and I think Jaden Greathouse in the slot are going to be huge at the beginning of the season for that. Jay Love, best damn running back in the country.
There you go.
And then Jadarian Price is probably the best damn running back that isn't a starting running back in the country.
For sure.
And then you got Aeneas Williams. When is the last time you've seen 3 Doak Walker watchless guys as running backs from Notre Dame? I was kind of blown away by that. Yeah, it's a watch list, but Jesus almighty, like that's fantastic. So you got 3 dynamic running backs there. And then I had a little bit of a talk with Jason this week about quarterbacks, and there's going to be packages for Kenny Minchie, I think, regardless. But CJ Carr is going to get my nod at the beginning, because I think we're just going to have that kind of prototypical quarterback that could sling the rock around, because we finally have someone that's capable of doing that. But Kenny's lightning in a bottle, man. I've seen some just highlights of him. He just jumps. He's athletic as hell. I don't want him to not see the field this year. He's gonna see the field. He's gonna see the field game 1. I just don't think he's taking that first snap under center. And I'm not saying we're gonna have a 2 quarterback system. I said packages. So I believe it's gonna be Carr's. It's gonna be driven by Carr. Gosh, so much play on words there. But it's gonna be Carr's shot to lose. And another guy at tight end I like to see, Nate mentioned Washington, but Jack Larson, the guy who we brought in 2 years ago. Jack Larson's more of a pass catcher. So I do see him coming in quite often, where Ty Washington was recruited by Denbrock. So there's a lot of good parity right there with guys that Mike Denbrock likes and has recruited in those 2 guys right there. So I foresee Notre Dame using 3 tight ends this year, not interchangeable, but as kind of a unit. It's kind of a team conjoined effort, and in the first couple games, that offensive line is going to change too. So it's going to be let the best man win and then stick to your guns. I know that sounds scary, but all those guys are equally as talented. And that's what Notre Dame's become.
That's great feedback from both you guys. And I agree with literally everything you said, Jeff, on the quarterback situation. Going back to the running back room real quick, obviously the news came out. In fact, I think it was made official today that Kedron Young will miss the season with his injury, along with Kevin Bauman. So really unfortunate because it sounded like Kedron Young was having a standout, breakout kind of fall camp. But again, hope, obviously he's going to get better, and there's going to be so many opportunities next year. But 3 guys that are on the Doak Walker Award list: Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, and Aeneas Williams. And don't sleep on Jabron Payne. I mean, he always seems to get lost in the shuffle a little bit. And he's somebody that shouldn't get lost in the shuffle because he's still a good back. He was hurt all last year. I think people forgot about him a little bit, but he's going to be somebody that's going to contribute to this team, especially now with Kedron Young being down. Got a freshman out there too, Nolan James, who is
Kyron Williams 2.0.
Yeah, right. So he's somebody that should not be slept on at all. It's going to be really exciting to see that running back room. I mean, whoever is the quarterback, whoever has become quarterback one, is going to have so many freaking weapons. It's like you almost have to really try to not be successful in this offense this year. So the coaching staff did an incredible job building this roster, and I'm really excited to see them fired off against Miami. All right. I'm just going to talk about the special teams game here real quick. Last year was kind of hit or miss, what was going to happen, but Jeter came through in the clutch, obviously, against Penn State. But I'll be honest, I haven't felt real confident about the kicking game since Justin Yoon left. But as of right now, it looks like Noah Burnett, the transfer from North Carolina, is going to be the kicker. So if you guys are okay with it, unless you see somebody else stealing that job from him, I'm going to fill him in for us at kicker.
No objections.
Let's see. Kick return. What do you think about that? I'm going to let you go first on that one, Jeff. Kick return.
I have been reading a lot of rumblings about that, and I think we may see some Jaden Greathouse. I think we may see some Dallas Golden, who we're going to talk about on defense. Jabron Payne, I think, may get out there a little bit.
He had a return against the SC.
Yep, and I believe Jadarian Price is my kind of 4th guy. I may be missing one because it gets so interchangeable. But as far as kick return and punt return go, I think the guy to look out for is Dallas Golden, because if you watch Dallas Golden's huddle tape, that kid played a ton of offense, and he played everything on his team. And he took back, I think, 4 kicks last year between kicks and punts. So wow. I wouldn't be shocked to see Dallas Golden out there doing some things on special teams for Notre Dame on the returning end.
Love it. Okay. So you got Golden. Nate, who you got on kick return?
I'm going to go with KK Smith. So many times last season I was watching games and I was like, who is that? And it was KK Smith, and he was just making plays with his speed. It was just like, it was electric, honestly. So, yeah, I'll go KK Smith.
Okay. I'm actually going to go because I think we need somebody that is going to protect the ball. I'm going to go with Will Pauling.
Very nice. Very nice pick.
I'm glad, Jeff, you mentioned Dallas Golden. I'm going to put him into my punt returner and hope that we get to just go with the most athletic freak out there, and I think he might be it. So, yeah. Nate, punt return, who are you going with?
I'll go Faison. I think he did a pretty good job last year in that role.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, switching to the defensive side of the ball, my favorite unit. And this unit is some new faces, but some returning faces that are going to be 1 year more experienced. They're going to have a deep playoff run experience-wise, which will be an advantage over literally everybody we play this year. So excited to see what some of these guys can do in their second year as starters or second years as contributors. And yeah, there's some units on this team that I think are highly underrated and will end up proving some of the naysayers wrong. So I'll start. We're going to start with the defensive end, the left side defensive end position. I think this is going to be Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young, we are huge fans of Bryce Young, have been since he said he was coming in. Bryant Young, his dad, is one of my favorite players, and his son now, and this is a hot take, but I think he can be better than his dad when it's all said and done at Notre Dame. He's just an athletic freak. He's fast. He's strong. Great handwork. Great footwork. He's a football player, and I can't wait to see him out there. So at nose, I'm going with my boy. I think Rubio's starting game 1, snap 1. Obviously, got Jared Dawson from Louisville, big, huge, monstrous, experienced dude. But I think Gabe has gotten stronger in the offseason, if that's even possible. And I think he's going to use his strength and his experience to really solidify himself as a really strong nose and a really strong presence and leader on that D-line. D-tack, I'm kind of torn on this one. I really, really love Donovan Heinisch. I could see him starting, but I think just because of the size, I'm going with Jason Onye. But I could definitely see Heinisch getting the nod there, so we'll see what happens. By the way, real quick, fans or viewers, listeners, if you guys have somebody that you want to mention at any of these positions, please drop it in the comments. We'll bring you on, or we'll mention that and kind of discuss it. So please, this is an interactive thing, so let us know what you guys think of what we're talking about here. On the right defensive end position, again, another one that I'm kind of back and forth on, but I think coming back from an injury, maybe he's on a snap count at first, but Boubacar Traore, I mean, how do you not put that guy in the fields as often as possible if he's healthy? And I'm probably spelling that wrong too, but Boubacar Traore at the other defensive end spot, really, really excited to see him healthy, especially against some of these fast quarterbacks that we're going to be playing, like the Arkansas quarterback, the Texas A&M Reed quarterback. We're going to need a defensive end that can contain the edge and keep those guys honest. At will, Jalen Sneed, this is his year. He will absolutely be a household name if he's not already, and not just for Notre Dame fans. Jalen Sneed's a guy that's going to make highlight-level plays, and he may make highlight-level mistakes, let's be honest. Sometimes he's going to make a play or not make a play where you're like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, he's, again, another athletic freak. I think he might even move up to, well, you saw this a lot last year. I think he's going to get after the passer a lot too. Mike position, one of Dos Leprechauns' favorites, kid that's been all Notre Dame all the time since probably birth, and a kid that we just think is the heart and soul of this team. I would be shocked beyond belief if he's not a captain. Our boy Drake Bowen at the Mike position, leading that linebacker group. Rover, got some interesting options here, but I'm looking for Jaden Osbury to have a breakout season, and I think he's ready to go. So Jaden Osbury at Rover. Corners are set, and I think you're going to have a Moore and Gray Island going on here. These guys are, in my opinion, not interchangeable, but irreplaceable. So really excited about them coming back. Here comes one of my hot takes. I'm going to go with boundary safety first. I'm sorry, free safety first, and I'm going to field safeties first. And I'm going to say that Tate Johnson starts game 1 against Miami alongside the man, Adon freaking Schuler. My nickelback starting right out the bat. I mean, a guy that's coming over from an SEC school is going to be Devontae Smith at the nickel position. And that will round out my my defensive chart. So, Jeff, why don't you go up next, starting at the defensive end position? It's all yours. Did we lose Jeff? Gosh dang it, Jeff. Pay your internet bill. I think he's frozen. Okay, hopefully Jeff will jump back on. In the meantime, Nate, let's go ahead and start. Let's get yours. Defensive end, nose, tackle, etc.
Yeah, so I'll go the same two as you, Bryce Young and Gabe. I think Bryce was really good in the playoffs last year and the whole season. Same thing with Gabe. Defensive tackle, I'll go Jared Dawson.
Okay.
He's a monster at that defensive spot and has a lot to do with what my next pick will be.
Wait, hold on real quick. So you're going with Dawson at D-tack, not nose?
Not nose, no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just two huge guys in your nose tackle spot and defensive tackle spots. That would make some of the biggest differences in run stopping this year.
Cool.
I think, one of the guys that obviously Boubacar is a great player. I would wait maybe a week or two just to see how Boubacar is doing health-wise. And I would start off with the guy who had a great playoff run, Junior Talamaka.
Okay.
I don't see him not starting, to be honest with you. Sneed is also an easy pick. Bowen, Osbury, all those. And then, obviously, the cornerbacks, they're going to be some of our best players on defense this year. I was really worried about that switch from Benmo,
Mhm.
who was going to fill in for him. But it's now a strength on our team.
For sure.
It's insane. For safety, I'm loving what I'm hearing of Tay Johnson, so I'm going to go Tay as well. Schuler, and then I've been a huge fan of Devontae Smith as well.
Okay.
He came over and, not too many people had heard of him, but he flies around on the field. It's amazing to see. So those are my defensive picks.
Good stuff. Very good. Let's see if we can get Jeff back here. I think I see him. Let's see if we can. Jeff, can you hear us, bud? All right. Jeff is lost in translation. So what we will do is we'll review this list. We're going to put it out on the various socials. Oh, hold on. Here he is. All right, Jeff, you back?
Yeah, I was just hanging out backstage, just chilling.
Oh, sorry. All right, let me bring back our handy dandy. Let's see. All right, so Nate went through.
That's my fault.
Nate went through his. So let's get yours. Starting defensive end, D line, defensive end, nose, D tack, and then our other defensive end position.
You're gonna have to hyphenate this first one for me. I'm gonna go with Josh Burnham and Bryce Young / it's Bryce Young. I mean, we know what the future is. I'm not going to argue that, but I think Josh Burnham is another that's going to be a vocal leader on this team, and I think he had a great season last season when healthy. Notably, I think his most notable moment Stanford when he just picked off that option pass like it was nothing. So I think he's an athletic freak, and he's one of those kids that has been on campus for 4 or 5 years. But Bryce Young's gonna be an NFL player in 3 years, or he's gonna be at Notre Dame 3 years, and he's gonna be gone after his junior year. So I'm not objecting that. So chat, don't get all in a bunch, but I believe Josh Burnham's going to see significant playing time too. So, like I said, our defense loves to rotate guys, and Al Washington has a literal machine going as we've been going through here with our depth charts. At nose, I'm going to go with Gabe. Gabe's one of those guys with length. I do see Gabe being limited in that role, though, because he's mainly just a run stuff kind of guy. I think Jared Dawson's a big, I'm going to get after whoever the hell has the ball type of guy. So unless if Gabe's kind of improved on some of those things, and this is not giving Gabe a knock, I think we're going to see a lot of Jared Dawson as well. And then defensive tackle, I'm going to go with Donnie. Donnie's a guy that I was in love with. I had the man crush on his brother, and I developed a man crush on him last year during the playoff run. Donnie Heinisch is one of those kids that is going to turn it up a notch. And I don't know if you heard his interview with Irish Sports Daily, but my God, it makes you want to run through a brick wall. I might have to share that. So
please do.
The kid just he gets it. He gets it. Right defensive end. That's another hard one. Our defensive ends are just so damn good. But I'm gonna go with Junior, man. Junior with his little celebration. He's impressive. He's impressive. Bubakar's a freak. He proved that last year. He proved that his freshman year. He proved it last year until he tore his ACL. So again, this is just, it's going to be the depth chart of Junior or Bubakar, or you're going to see that in the programs or on Notre Dame's depth charts all year. Will linebacker, I mean, he's proved that he's gotten quite large and seems like he's taking things serious, but I'm going to go with KVA. KVA over Sneed, because I think Bowen, KVA, and Sneed are going to be the 3 main linebackers. I think Jaden Osbury is going to rotate in a lot. I think he'll kind of start out as a rover, but it's just going to be so hard to keep those three off the field because of the athleticism. And Snead has experience at rover, and you could always bring him up to the line because he gets after the quarterback fast. So I'm going to have KVA, Bowen, and Snead. Bowen, I'm not going to even talk about. Snead and KVA. KVA is up to like 238 now. So, I mean, and these guys are all fast. Cornerback is the Moore and Gray Island, as you guys called it. With Nickelback, do we have Nickelback in?
Yep.
Here?
Not the band.
Nichols all the way last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moore and Gray, that's not to be contested. I love Dallas Golden, Mark Zachary providing depth at those positions. I think Chance is still lingering at Notre Dame. Chance Tucker. So there's depth. Let's just say there's depth at those positions, but it's Moore and Gray are 1 and 2, and they're not going to be taken off the field unless if they want to be. Tate or Luke Talich. It's gonna be a damn battle at strong safety. Because Schuler's got free safety locked down, but CJ Carr had a quote after their first scrimmage and said, "He is an athletic freak. He picked off the first 2 passes I threw." So Tay Johnson is going to see the field regardless, and I think he'll be named the starter. So go on with it. I'm not going to switch up on you. And then at nickel, I'm a fan of the wild card. I'm going to go with Carson Hobbs.
Woohoo! I love it.
Carson Hobbs, kid brings energy, man. Kid brings energy. It's no defense against Devontae Smith, who had a hell of a career at Alabama. I just think I'm a big guy for the Notre Dame guy, like the guy that we brought in. We have a tendency of bringing in good nickels. I think Devontae Smith's going to get the nod right away, but I love Carson Hobbs, and I think he's had a good camp as far as I know, and he provides also depth at either of those cornerback positions. So, like we saw in the spring game, and another guy that we saw in the spring game jumping up to the offense really quick was like Nolan James out of the backfield receiving. So not to twist things, but like working off of like the spring game, since we can't see practices and we only hear about them, like keeping the ears to the pavement. I love Carson Hobbs.
I love that pick, man. I absolutely love that pick. And I think just like we saw last year, you're going to see some of the young guys getting those opportunities. So Carson Hobbs, Dallas Golden, guys like that. Oh my gosh, Jadon Blair, all guys that'll see the field this year without question, if not a lot. Let's hope it's because of opportunity and
not injury.
Exactly. Scheme, opportunity, opponent, et cetera, not injury. Because last year it felt like every frigging game we were losing another defensive end. It was frustrating as hell. Botello, I don't know if there's a guy I'm going to root for more in any team at all this season to come back and just be a frigging ferocious beast like he can be. This team, man, we'll talk about it more in our season breakdown in a couple weeks. We'll be doing a schedule breakdown, I should say, kind of looking at the opponents in a couple weeks. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic. I really am, but it's hard to be. I hope I don't get kicked in the nuts and something goes wrong. But I don't know if I've ever felt this confident about a team in my 35-year fandom. The 88 team kind of came out of nowhere. Last year's team, in my opinion, came a little bit out of nowhere. I knew we were going to be good. Didn't think we'd be, national championship winning good. This year, man, the sky's the limit. I'm gonna switch the screen here, but this year, in my opinion, it's, sky's the limit, and anything short of a deep run in the playoff, unfortunately, is going to be kind of have to look at as a missed opportunity, right? I mean, there's just too much talent all across the field. There is some inexperience at key spots, quarterback position, that most important position in football is it's still a question mark. But at the end of the day, I believe in our offensive coordinator, our head coach, and our QB coach to make sure whoever that is, or both the guys, God forbid, is ready to rock and roll against those bums in Miami. So, let's see real quick before we jump off here. So that's going to be our position breakdown. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. We'll talk about it a little bit, or just soak it in, man. But we'll be showing that. We'll put that on the page. Get your guys' takes. We'd love to hear the feedback. And of course, everybody's talking about the QB position, but I think there's some other cool battles developing at safety, at DTAC, some of that kind of thing. Kick returner, as we mentioned, who's going to be RB3. It's going to be some, the competition is going to breed results. I think I actually kind of akin a lot of the team this year to what Pete Carroll used to have at USC. And I feel like I need to throw up for saying that, but he had athletes at every position in the glory days. And it was almost, you didn't know who you were going to see at running back after Reggie Bush. You didn't know who you were going to see at safety, at corner. I think we're in that territory now where we have stud athletes at every position that would start for dang near any team in the country. And I'm going to say it, and I want to hear your guys' take too. My most underrated position on this team is the defensive line. You already have standout stars on the defensive end, but I've always been a big Gabe Rubio fan. We talked about Heinisch, who's he's going to not let anything stop him. Traore, Dawson, Onye, Markham. I always get his name wrong.
Mukum.
Just so much depth and talent and experience. It's hard to replace guys like Howard Cross and Riley Mills, but I think we have the rotation of guys that can fill those voids and not make it to where we have to have those two dudes in or else type situation. So, Jeff, what would be your kind of most underrated position group on this team?
I'm going to go at the most criticized, and that's going to be our wide receiver corps. I'm gonna say they're gonna have a breakout. They're gonna have a breakout this year because we have the names, we have the talent. We showed peaks last year when Riley was able to throw the pill. So I believe that our wide receiver corps is going to be able to do it this year for the first time in a long time. Where I know there's a certain someone in our Dose Leprechauns group that always has something to say about our wide receivers getting off the ball. I think we're going to have guys that are going to be able to get off the ball this year. So we finally have that, and I think we're going to see a big season out of a couple of receivers, if not more.
The guy that you're talking about on the Dose Leprechauns team, does his name rhyme with Stank?
Yeah, yes, 100%. Between that and quarterback play, I lose my mind.
I hear you, man. I think the wide receiver room, great point, man, because you've got some absolute freaks of nature in that room. I'm telling you guys right now, circle back to this in mid-October, Cam Williams is going to blow the top off the football game. It's going to happen. Just wait for it. He's just ridiculously athletic, talented, strong, big. It's always been, does he understand the offense? Who gives a crap? Let him go run a post route and catch a touchdown over some bum Miami cornerback. Okay, I'm done.
Let me one up you there and throw out another name of Micah Gilbert.
Ooh, good call, bro.
I think Micah Gilbert is another guy who could blow a top off the game. He's another one of those North Carolina kids that just has speed.
Oh yeah. I don't know what they're doing down there.
And I'll tell you what, CJ Carr sure likes throwing to him, and
yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what we have in Micah Gilbert moving forward too.
Wasn't it real quick going back to CJ Carr? You mentioned in the spring game, it was Jack Larson, I think, that caught that pass that he just threaded the needle in there, right? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was a freaking drop in the bucket. It was
that's what I thought.
That good of a pass. And that's what Jack Larson could show. So he could be vertical. So I think we're going to get a lot. Love the KK Smith. Mike Brown has been said to talk about KK Smith in a sense of he's just one of those guys that's just going to keep getting better as the game goes on or as he grows as a player at Notre Dame.
One more name to mention in the wide receiver room that most people don't talk about, but I think is also a talented kid is Scrap Richardson. Came out of nowhere, but I've seen him burn some dudes already in practice now again. Sometimes he might be going up against a walk-on that, but still, he's got some speed. And who's really shown me something so far, excuse me, This preseason in the spring game is our guy Logan Saldate. That's another name to remember this season. Him, and then of course last one. I mean, geez, we're freaking talking about the entire room at this point. But Elijah Burris, baby, let's go.
If you would have forgot about him, he's getting talked about quite a bit right now.
Yeah,
on the news wire on the Notre Dame beat because of how good he looks.
Yes,
and if you remember the school that he went to, DePaul, he shared the wide receiver. He was opposite of an Ohio State commit, and he had better numbers than that Ohio State kid going into that. So it's going to be interesting to see Elijah Burris's name pop up, or if you hear that during some of the games this season.
Awesome. All right, Nate, who's your underrated position group? You can choose one of ours or get your own.
Yeah, I'm going to go tight end. I think it's one of the most stacked rooms that we have. Obviously, you guys talked about receiver, but tight end, people are going to point to Kevin Bauman being out for the year and say, okay, well, we just have Eli Reardon. No, you got, like I said, Ty Washington, like you said, Jack Larson, like all of those guys can easily contribute. So that's my pick. Obviously, wide receiver and the defensive line are great picks as well.
Awesome. Jeff, thank you as always, brother. We appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on this morning. I know you have a busy daddy daycare, daddy sport day, daddy team dad. You're the man, dude. We love the fathers you are. That's important, and your fandom and your contributions to the Those Leprechauns page. We really appreciate it. So it's gonna be a fun year, man, and I'm really excited to share with all you knuckleheads. And we'll probably be texting here in the next 20 minutes. So thanks for jumping on, bro, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you guys
later. All right, that was our very own Jeff Jeff Strebajak's his name. I always mess with him because his last name's spelled like Strbjak, like Strebajak.
I guess Hendricks is a little confusing.
How is it confusing?
It's not. Usually people spell it like Hendricks. Okay,
I'll give you that one.
Like
just
the only Kyle Hendricks.
Kyle Hendricks. All right. So baseball season is officially over for us. The Angels gave us like an ounce of optimism, and then yesterday. We're not going to talk about baseball. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get to some of these comments. Wayne Smith on YouTube. By the way, just a reminder: smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Dose Leprechauns. I think it's just under Dose Leprechauns. We really want to grow that to 1,000. We're close. We're at 700. Our guy Fighting Irish Faithful holds down the fort on YouTube every week for his show. So check that out as well. It's good stuff. Wayne Smith on YouTube. Al Washington had a great little known interview the other day with one of his linebacker coach friends from the past. Go check it out. I learned a lot more about his mind. I like it. Very cool. Thanks for that, Wayne. Amber Sullivan, Notre Dame has some real talent on their depth chart this year. Injuries will happen, unfortunately. However, I have faith the next guy will step up. Absolutely. Sarah McClanahan, glad you guys are back. We're glad to be back. This is what we live for, man. I mean, it's God Country Notre Dame. Family, obviously, is kind of associated too, obviously. But, yeah, it's going to be a good time, guys. Good season coming ahead. And I'm really excited about the coaching staff and the players and the developmental staff and the support staff. It's just a really great unit. Freeman has absolutely – if he hasn't earned your trust and your respect yet, then you may need to go to an insane asylum, quite frankly. And I'm sure we'll get those people, if – I'm already waiting for, the first series. If we get the ball first and we go 3 and out, fire Freeman, fire Denbrock. What the hell are we doing? Put in Tyler Buckner. It's like, come on, guys, let's get real. Speaking of Tyler Buckner, I'm just saying he's had some good throws this practice season. I think it's going to be my pick is going to be Carr, Minchie, and then what's his? I always forget the third.
Herbert.
Herbert, thank you, Herbert. I think it's Herbert, but anyway. And then Buck. But, man, how cool would it be if we were blowing out Miami on the road, which I think we will. Buck gets a little run.
Why not?
Oh, man, I just love Buck. I know he went to Bama, but I think Tommy –
that wasn't his fault.
It wasn't. Man. Tommy Reese, you're going to be the starter, bro. And then, no. Anyway, what do you think about the possibility of an end to the USC rivalry? I think it's trash. I think Lincoln Riley's trash. I think the entire school's trash. I think that I want them to continue to stay on our schedule because I think we're in that mode where we're going to be the superior team for a long time to come. USC is so fickle. If Lincoln Riley doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's getting fired. Straight up. There's no doubt in my mind. He's had Caleb Williams, who, despite what I want to say and think, he's a good quarterback, whatever, great quarterback in college. So he had Caleb Williams. He has all these weapons on, offense last year. He has all these guys he's recruiting, and he can't win, 9-10 games? I know the schedule stuff. But yeah, I think that it's an absolute travesty to college football if you take away the Notre Dame USC rivalry, best continental rivalry, best cross country rivalry in the state in the country. I think it's on the level of a Ohio State Michigan rivalry. For those of you that are a little bit newer to the world here, back in the day, man, when you would go to those games, I used to go to the games at the Coliseum just about every year, starting in '88, and it was like wartime. You know, it was brutal, and that's one of the reasons I hate SC so much, is because their fans are just not great.
Well, I'll do you one better. If we were to get rid of the Notre Dame USC rivalry, bring on Penn State. I've seen enough from their fandom and their fan base this season for no reason.
None.
For no reason.
None.
They lost to us, and they have really nothing to hold their shoulders on. I mean, James Franklin is an overrated head coach.
Yep.
Plain and simple. He's a wannabe Marcus Freeman.
Brian Kelly 2.0.
I mean, yeah, if he talks as much as he talks better than he coaches.
Yeah.
He press conference warrior.
It's hilarious. If you guys aren't on Twitter, first of all, stay away. It's getting really bad, but on Twitter right now, there's probably 5 or 6 different threads that us and several other groups that are involved in, that these Penn State fans out of nowhere just start taking cracks. And it's like, scoreboard? I mean, I get it. It wasn't like we dominated or blew them out of the water. We won on a last-second field goal by Jeter, but we won. Bottom line, they were sitting at home at the college football national championship game. We weren't, despite the outcome. And quite frankly, I mean, yeah, they have a great running back room. I'm not a huge fan of Drew Aller, but it is what it is. It's just literally out of nowhere. Somebody was saying something about Freeman and his first press conference in the spring, and out of nowhere, this dude from some Penn State fan account jumps in and starts running his mouth and getting really nasty, actually, to where it was like, dude, is this like a burner account for somebody that didn't get recruited by Notre Dame? Because
James Franklin.
It's James Franklin's kids. Anyway, Fames Janklin.
Rames Franklin.
All right. Before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to one of our sponsors this year, Michiana Sports Cards. We're going to share their page here for a quick second. Can't say enough about these guys, Michiana Sports Cards. They have great selection of cards. They did an autograph signing a couple weeks ago with Jaden Osbury and Adon Schuler, and they were nice enough to throw us a couple signed helmets. And now I can't find their page. That's fantastic. They were nice enough to share or send us 2 helmets signed by both guys, and we really appreciate that. We did one contest for YouTube. Hint, hint, we're going to have a lot of contests for this year for people that are already subscribed to YouTube. So go smash that subscribe button on YouTube, and you'll be entered automatically. But Michiana Sports Cards, you can find them at michianasportscards.com and on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Check them out. They're local, great shop. They do a lot of signings. I think they had Ian Book a few months ago. Just a really cool shop, and we appreciate their support. If you guys know of anybody looking to get some additional marketing for their brand or anything like that, let us know. We'd love to partner with people. We're looking to have some sponsors this year to help us with the tailgates, which is my next comment, is that Jason Tylee, Irish JTL on Twitter, will be running every home game. There will be a Dos Leprechauns tailgate run by Irish JTL and several others. So you don't need to go spend $100, $125 at any particular tailgate, especially for Texas A&M, to hang out and have some drinks. You can come and hang out with us for free. Maybe just bring something to share. But yeah, if you know anybody looking for some advertising, real estate agents, anything like that, have them hit us up. We'd love to partner. But with that, it's almost exactly an hour. So that's about 30 minutes longer than we wanted to go, but too much to talk about. We'll be back next week and every week in the morning to do pregame shows when the season starts, some analysis before the season, and then, of course, our therapy or victory celebrations after the game. So thank you guys for all your support. Again, subscribe on YouTube, share this podcast. We would really appreciate that support. With that being said, God bless. Have a great week, great rest of your weekend, and go Irish.